Hey you guys, what's up? It's me, Nikeo, back here at the Mary's Home channel, ready to help you shape up your day with a little bit of positivity. So, you might be wondering, why? Why is it essential that you have to teach children how to stand in line? All right, I am going to share with you a story from my first year teaching. You ready for this one? I'm already laughing, thinking back about it, okay? So my first year of teaching, I used to teach at an elementary school, and we had this really amazing reading program that I love doing with the kids. So the way that you taught the kids in the program, we didn't do it based on grade level or class, but all the kids did an assessment at the beginning of the academic year. And then based on how they scored on the reading assessment, they were grouped this way. And so the kids who are in my reading group, I had kindergartners, first graders, and second graders who are all reading at the same reading level. And so that meant at the beginning of the day, the first 2 hours of every day, we're always reading, right? I love the program. You start the day with reading. It was a real structured program. I absolutely loved it. But anyway, the first 2 hours of the day, you always have to go and pick up your kids to get ready for their reading class first thing in the morning. And so you walk around all the different classes around the school and you pick up your children. And so I have my group of kindergartners, first graders, and second graders that I'm going to go take to my reading lesson. So on the way, my class was located upstairs, and I had to pick up kids from upstairs and downstairs, right? And so after I got all the kids, we were heading back upstairs to get to my classroom. And so on the way to my classroom, one of my little kindergartners, he's like, "Miss Coble, I'm stuck." And he said it really calmly, right? And kindergartners, for those of you who haven't taught children before, they can be very bright academically, but socially, they're still kind of learning skills. So I thought maybe he's trying to play the game, "Oh, I'm stuck. Everybody pretend to be stuck." So I'm like, "Okay, yeah, we're all stuck, but now it's time to get unstuck and keep coming up the stairs and come to reading class." He's like, "Miss Coble, I'm stuck." And so I walk over to him. The rest of my class is still standing in line. And I'm like, "All right, it's time to get unstuck and come to reading class." And I took his hand and I started trying to walk. But then he kind of, it was like he was pulling back. And I'm like, "Seriously, come on, it's time to walk up the stairs." But he's like, "Miss Coble, I'm stuck." And I look. And the little boy had stuck his arm in between, the railing, the banisters. When you're going up the stairs, he stuck his arm in between there. And so at first I'm calm and I'm trying to help him unstick his arm from in the banister. And I'm like, I really can't get this kid's arm in the banister. But you can't panic in front of kids, because if I panic, then he's going to panic. The rest of the class is going to panic. So it's like, you know what? Look at Miss Coble. I got this little small itty bitty arm. I don't have much muscle. I said, we have to call someone with more muscle to be able to help you get unstuck so we can go to reading class. So I take out my phone and I call the janitor. And I'm like, "Can you come? I'm on the stairwell and one of my students is stuck. One of my kindergartners is stuck. He got his arm stuck in the railing." So my janitor comes down there. Kid. And so janitor, again, he's playing along too. And he's like, "Oh yeah, you've got these big strong arms. How are we going to get you unstuck?" Because again, we're trying not to panic him. We're trying not to panic the other kids in the class. And so we have this transition time, maybe 5 minutes transition, and it's playing classical music where everybody's supposed to be transitioning after you pick up the children and get to your class. And my class is still in the hall. We're on the stairwell. The music has stopped and we're supposed to be starting reading. And my principal just happened to be making rounds. And so she comes to the stairwell. She's like, "Miss Coble," she's like, "why aren't you guys teaching reading yet?" And I said, I was like, "I have a student. He's stuck." She's like, "What do you mean he's stuck?" I was like, he slid his arm in between the banisters and he's stuck in there. And so this whole time we're calm. The class is calm. The boy is calm. The janitor is calm. Everybody's calm because we're trying to keep the situation calm and get the boy unstuck. But my principal is like, "How did you get stuck? How did you get your arm stuck in there?" And so all of a sudden the kid's panicking because she's panicking. And all the kids are like, "Miss Coble, is it going to be okay?" She's like, "Miss Coble, take the rest of your kids to class." So I didn't take the rest of my kids to class, right? And when we get in there, they're all like, "Miss, is he going to be okay? Is he really stuck? Is his arm going to be okay?" It's like, "It's fine. We'll get his arm undone and everything. It's fine." Yes. So anyway, the boy did coming back to class. I think they put some oil on his arm and they help ease his arm out of there or whatever, right? But the point of this story is, right, why it is essential is not so much just about how do you train children to stand in line, but even just setting really clear expectations, right? because he was walking in line. But as a teacher, I never thought, at first year teachers, my first year teaching, right? I never thought like, oh, I have to teach them that you keep your hands at your side, you know, and you do these things, like people should just automatically know how to walk in line. But no, my kindergartner, yeah, he was walking in line and he was quiet, but he was sticking his arm in and out, in and out of the banister. So that was something new that I had to add to my, expectations as far as what it looks like when we walk down the hallways, right? And so that just goes to share with you, and sharing this story today, that not only with walking in line, but everything, if you're trying to establish like a positive classroom culture, you have to set the expectations for the kids with what it is that you want and leave no room for interpretation. Because when you leave room for interpretation, things get stuck. Just like, and I'm not trying to be funny, but generally, like, things get stuck in the classroom. You start having sticky situations, you start having problems, and the kids don't understand, like, what did I do wrong? Like, nobody told me I couldn't do this. And then you're frustrated. Like, you should have just known that. Like, for me, I felt really frustrated. Like, how did this kid not know it's not okay to be sticking your arm in and out of the rails there walking up the stairs? But yeah, you guys, that's just a little story I wanted to share with you today. Hope it added a little bit of positivity to your day. Maybe it gave you a smile. It is kind of a funny story. One of the many, many stories I have from my days of teaching. But yeah, that does help you with behavior management, having really, really clear expectations, keep you out of sticky situations. All right, you guys. All right, so if you enjoyed today's video, please give me a thumbs up. If you feel like somebody else needs a little bit of help and support with managing students and their behavior, setting expectations, maybe share this video with them. Give them a little bit of chuckle. Hopefully they haven't had a kid who got stuck in the stairwell. But really just thinking about setting clear boundaries and expectations. By the way, I've linked for you a free resource if you need some help on how to establish clear boundaries and expectations with like a couple of examples of how you can have some positive experiences in your classroom. All right, especially for my first year teachers out there, because first year teaching is like all the things that you didn't know that you didn't know, right? And that you had to teach explicitly. All right, take care, you guys, and I'll see you next time. Okay, for all my shining stars out there, I hope you guys keep on shining and have a wonderful day. Okay, bye-bye, everybody.